too much. On a game type like Oddball, I feel like that is such an important quality to have. Let's see if OpTic can continue that, or can Quadrant find an answer or replicate that same level as the battle comes underway. SLG is going to open it up with the first pick, and that's a good start for Quadrant fans here. Camo's coming up momentarily, so these kills and the control of the early Oddball time is usually a strong indicative of what's going to happen here early in this game 4.
Yeah, Lucid trying to hit those shots onto Glory or Snipe Drone, but teammate in the way, so trading out a little damage there. But this ball is not in a safe spot. These teams are just going to be vying for garage control. You see them instantly going over towards the garage window because they realize they control that. They control the garage. They control the ball.
Yeah, OpTic aren't able to get that ball into a real secure position, and as they go all 4 down, that camo pops up. The ball is going to be picked up by Quadrant, and with Snipe Drone and camo in hand, the ball setup is going to be a perfect house setup for the side of Quadrant. House, I don't know how Snipe Drone's getting shot right now, but somebody has some eagle eyes over on OpTic Gaming. They're able to knock him down to no shield, trade the camo player out, and that is a massive kill on the side of OpTic Gaming.
I would say massive kill for OpTic Gaming, but also just a bit of a miss from Quadrant. You have all 4 down. If there's one person shooting your camo player, you should be able to be in a little bit better of a spot to punish that, or at least cut off somebody from just charging right into garage.
Yeah, OpTic's so quick to break what was a very strong setup for Quadrant. That could be a big problem as this game 4 transpires right now. 27-10, OpTic taking the lead, and Lucid doing things that should not be done. The double kill as he repulses top mid was awesome. The ball gets rotated towards green as well, so OpTic not only going to gain a significant lead here, but should be in a good position to play once their setup is finally broken.
Look at this, Trippy just buying some time there, trying to halt these members from top center so that they know nest is clear, but it's been broken. Here comes the charge. You know they're coming from garage, you know they're coming from nest.
But Deadzone's going to be able to drop that ball. He's going to be able to play that ball. It's perfect shots from Sika that will force the play ball. Formal's still going to be over here. Narrowly takes down Sika. It is a double kill for Sika, but look, the ball already gets reset, and Trippy already has it in his hands, and he's taking it away.
One thing about OpTic, at least in past seasons, I always felt that they were the best ball rotation team in the league. I'm not sure if that's still true here
I think
in 2024.
I think it is. Rewatching Arlington, that was something that I thought was unbelievable that they were able to do so consistently. Their reads of where to take the ball and when to grab it and put it in a position where respawners can compete for it, you're already seeing that pay dividends here once again in London.
Yeah, that last one was wild because we saw 3 dead, Trippy the last one alive, and he runs over towards his spawning teammates, and all of a sudden, OpTic are contesting this ball in a situation where they were 3 down.
Right. What you thought was going to be a window for Quadrant to maybe try and get the ball in their hands, get it to a place where they're set up. OpTic denied that because the last player alive is making such an impactful play. It's 57-10 now. Quadrant find themselves down 47. Snipe in the hands of SLG could change everything, however. It's a double for SLG. The ball gets neutralized for a moment, and this should be the first real Quadrant setup we've seen since that camo play.
Yeah, first Quadrant setup, you have SLG with Snipe, and he's not missing. One thing you also brought up, Wes, was you said, all right, when you're on fire, what are you doing with your team? What are you having them play a little different? When it comes to OBJ, you need to have your teammates just grab that. It doesn't matter if you have Snipe or not. You say, take this ball, I'm destroying right now, let me go do some work.
There's something about having a teammate that is so objective, eccentric, that he is always near the ball, no matter what the play is. Trippy seems to be that player here for OpTic Gaming, as Deadzone as well, a duo continuing to impact these objectives. Deadzone with 53 seconds, Trippy with the other 4, you got Lucid with 1, but a 58-24 lead right now for OpTic Gaming. Quadrant, maybe not getting outslayed necessarily, but the objective efficiency continuing to be in OpTic's favor as Trippy, once again, last guy alive, runs away with the ball.
Yeah, and that's so frustrating. You feel like you come out ahead in those slays or engagements, and all of a sudden you're like, wait, when did they get out there? What's going on here? And then that's where frustration seeps in. You start to charge across the map, maybe not taking the exact route you should take. You get punished for that, and you're back in respawn. Yeah,
you feel like you're almost getting robbed of the good plays that you feel like you're making. Unfortunately, the best plays to have the Oddball in hand, and right now, Quadrant need to find a way to do so. 69-24, Deadzone, ball in hand. There is a player towards camo in Seiko, but he's got to wait for his teammates to respawn if he has any chance to try and break another OpTic Gaming setup.
Let's see what Deadzone decides to do with this ball. Trippy ends up getting taken out. He doesn't have a teammate right with him, but looks like the fight for camo is the play. Actually scrapping up the last couple seconds. eventually gets taken out by Glory. Now ball in the hands of Quadrant. Do they decide to keep it garage, or do they decide to rotate it over towards green?
They're going to be
Keep in mind.
They're going to be forced to try and compete for this camo right now, and that's going to make this situation so difficult for Quadrant. It's actually Formal that sneaks away with that camo. He says you can have the ball for just a moment. This camouflage seems to be the more important factor for OpTic Gaming, and now somehow the setup gets broken. Formal finds himself with camo ball. He's going to throw that to a teammate, and this round is starting to get ugly on the side of Quadrant.
Yeah, prior to that ball getting thrown out, it was OpTic getting the kills, OpTic getting the camo, OpTic getting the ball, but Snipe Drone at least equalized those numbers out.
Lucid, the last player alive for OpTic Gaming, they're able to get a kill onto SLG. That's going to ruin any chance of a setup the Quadrant has. They try to rotate the ball towards Cuts, but the rest of OpTic Gaming are going to be here so quickly that that ball gets shut down. The Slays continuing to go in their favor, and Lucid in a one-on-one is able to trade, keep that ball neutralized, and neutralization of the ball right now is good things for OpTic.
Yeah, and what can Sika and Quadrant do here to get the kills they need and get a setup that works for a while? You don't need just 15 points at this time. You need to get a setup that you can hold for 30, 50, 70 points.
Right now, they haven't proved that they could do it, at least against the likes of OpTic. Such a strong oddball team, such a difficult team to try and find any efficiency or hold a setup against. And OpTic are showing you why. They are so quick. If one player is alive, they can ruin everything as they continuously do. The ball waits so long in that cuts area that it gets reset right now, and all of a sudden 38 seconds on the clock. Time starting to become a factor as well for a win condition for OpTic here in round one.
Yeah, it's looking like OpTic are just going to try to run this clock out. As I say that, dead zone grabs the ball, rotates it on over, and looks like he faked towards pillars, then ran back towards Kedor. I can't tell. But there's also some power in the route you take with that ball. So many players just adjust instantly, saying, all right, they're going to come out this way. I'm ready for it. Yep, they commit to a route, and they double back. Just like that, dead zone scooping up the last 3, 2, 1 points there, and that's round number 1 going for OpTic Gaming.
A dominant round 1 here in game 4 for OpTic Gaming, and Quadrant have got to figure out a way to hold a setup stronger than what they did in round 1 if they want any chance at this game 4 being close.
Yeah, the scary part there for OpTic versus Quadrant is OpTic had 54 kills to Quadrant's 51. So only a 3-kill difference. You basically consider that even in slays. But the objective time, complete different story.
There's an 80-point difference in the objective time there in that round. OpTic Gaming so efficient, such an annoying team to try and compete against. 3 go down. Dead Zone is the last player alive with Snipe. That ball not being able to be picked up by Quadrant because they know Dead Zone is watching it with Snipe. And even this camo being in a favorable position for OpTic Gaming to compete for. Quadrant seem to be spread out on the map, and that could be really difficult to try and deal with Dead Zone on this camo push. They do get a couple of kills towards that camo, and that's forced Dead Zone back here, but he still has his eyes on competing for this camo.
Yeah, knows that the last players are down low, grabs that camo, gets the damage, and now looking for the spawners. Glory gets traded out. Where's the next one? They know it's dummy door.
Yeah, Dead Zone playing this so perfectly, so patiently as well. The ball in OpTic's hands. Dead Zone does get spotted out. Multiple members of Quadrant looking for him. Which way did he go? Which way did he go? Able to find the first kill. Asika does get a melee onto him. That ball still towards the other side of the map, though, and OpTic's setup is broken, but they have a 15-point lead to play around once again.
Broken to a degree. I mean, Dead Zone drew too many players over there towards C-Plat. Even when they get that kill, they aren't able to collapse on that ball right away. And if they don't get that kill, they have a sniper behind them over towards tower, which is not a comfortable position to be in.
Yeah, I mean, they're so busy trying to deal with camo Dead Zone, trying to figure out where he went, what's he doing. He's playing mind games with them, and in the meantime, the ball still in the hands of OpTic, continuing to be a nuisance. Every single player for OpTic making this such a frustrating experience for Quadrant. The differences between these teams has not been seen to this level until this map mode combination because of how dominant a team like OpTic Gaming can feel like it is to play against. And Quadrant do have a couple of kills in their favor. The ball is in-house. If they're able to take down Formal, this is the moment we've been waiting for. Quadrant with ball in hand, a full house setup. Can you find where OpTic are coming from and stop the push?
And I like this too. They're also getting the ball in a position where they can play ball. At any other times we've been seeing Quadrant die with the ball, they're tossing the ball out of a window or something like that, but OpTic are actually able to grab that ball instantly after they get the slays.
This is the first round of slays we've seen Quadrant have with ball in hand. They should be able to make this round very close. Camo is the focus for OpTic as Trippy gets taken down. Luce is going to be able to take down Sika, and I believe Camo got burned. That's why SLG is going to leave this area alone. Ball is still in-house, and SLG's in no man's land as the rest of OpTic have been able to take that ball and rip it away from the likes of Quadrant, bring it back to green, and get in a position to play it if SLG can make enough damage.
And you gotta wonder, were Quadrant supposed to play that? Or were they too confident they were gonna get those kills? You could see the confusion there, the hesitancy to toss that ball off, thinking that they were gonna get their numbers advantage, and because of it, ball didn't get played. Ball in the hands of Trippy. He's gonna rotate this over towards Garage, realizes it's clear, but somehow, Sniper from SLG, was it? Or no, it's Glory.
Oh, wow, a double that he should have got. Would have been nice, didn't get though, and now Formal might make you pay. He is taken down, but the setup for Quadrant that would have been, if Glory was able to find that kill onto Formal, would have been so strong at this point. The ball still in their hands, however, just not even a 15-point game at this point. Quadrant starting to get some slays with these setups, are looking much different here in round 2. Can they keep this up?
I mean, they got the points on the board. We haven't seen them get one of those setups where they get the extended point, period of time from the first round. We've now seen that. We've now seen them scrap back 10 points here and there. They've started to figure out a little bit, but is it too little, too late? OpTic are so close from closing out this round 2. They still have the ball over in Garage. Can they get the slays?
So much damage from Trippy. He's able to not only take 2 players down and no shield, he even finds a kill as well. So 3 members being taken down by the likes of Trippy and the rest of OpTic Gaming with a little bit of help. 63-47. Somehow Quadrant have come off respawn and gotten the damage advantage, the numbers advantage, and back to a setup in the back of house. Quadrant have struggled from this position before, but they find the first kill. That's a big one right now. Dead Zone spotted out as well. Narrowly gets taken down by SLG, but a ton of damage from SLG could give them the advantage they need. Formal is the last player alive, forced to Quantum back. He's eventually taken down, and look at that. Quadrant will take the lead here in round 2.
They get the kills, they get the time. Now, I would love to see them rotate this ball over towards green. Yes, that's easy for us to say as we see where the spawns are at, but forced OpTic to divide and conquer. Force them to have to decide between Camo and stopping the ball. Glory, run over towards Rat Tunnel. Gets the one-on-one against Dead Zone as he was getting shot in the back, and ball just gets technically played. I guess if you throw it back to the spawn point, you can call it play ball.
But Quadrant had the numbers. 3 were down for OpTic momentarily. The ball back in the hands of Quadrant. Make it all 4 down for OpTic Gaming. Spawning over towards green is not where you want to see OpTic spawning if you're an OpTic fan. And 81 points and counting for Quadrant as they bring the ball out towards the key door here. Still, OpTic members from Respawners are here to shut this down, but a 20-point lead is the biggest lead we've seen from Quadrant since game 2.
And it's just chaos at the end here. Quadrant just trying to scoop up whatever kills they can. They find Lucid at the big door, not able to get the finish there. Lucid taken out too quick, and that's 3 down. What can Dead Zone do?
Dead Zone spawning over at green. He's in no position. They need to get this ball in hand and force OpTic's hand. 83 points. You can get this narrowly to close to 100, if not 95, and force the hand of OpTic to push in places they have no business pushing. A couple of kills go in their favor. The ball, I believe, is neutralized here as Glory going to make his way towards it. He knows OpTic Gaming are trying to bait this ball. There's 2 members in that key door on both sides. Glory's going to have to play this one slow and hit a shot.
Oh, Glory gets the opening right there, gets that kill, and does not get that follow-up damage onto Dead Zone, but damage has been done, and time's been bought. OpTic Gaming are totally fine and comfortable right here. They're not too worried with the clock having a minute 15 left on it. They are happy to slow this down, slay out, and then rotate ball.
It felt like Quadrant had numbers advantage so many different times throughout that process, but no time was awarded towards them. 86 is where they have stalled out, and OpTic are bringing this ball to tower. Dead Zone in a position where he can play this ball if too much pressure comes his way, but he is going to try and get this game as close to tied up as he can. He's taken down very quickly. A great kill from Quadrant will reset this ball. Glory with snipe in hand. If he hits a shot, they can take this to a round 3.
And SLG putting the pressure on right away with this ball reset. I like this play from Quadrant. Do not let OpTic get comfortable. Don't let them spawn to full force and push back. Glory grabbed the last 2 points there, and that's going to be a tie game we got here.
Let's go, Quadrant. We get a round 3 here in game 4, and what a different story that round 2 was from round 1. Quadrant started to figure out how to hold a setup.
Not even just figure out how to hold a setup. Outslayed OpTic by 16 kills in that last round 2. I mean, when you have the other team half dead the entire game, you can do whatever you want. If you don't want to pick up the ball right away, I guess it still just works out.
It was a one-on-one between SLG and Formal to kick this round off. Formal fives, SLG picks up the snipe, the ball. He says, take the ball, I've got to pop off. Jumps up top tower with snipe now in hands. Can he find the first? It's an easy shot on the SLG. Formal in a position to get his team a significant lead here in round 3.
And instantly play balls it, decides to keep this top control. I like this bait. Don't need to overcommit in direction. But it's just the curse of competitive gaming timing. You look away, that's when they're going to pop out. And Glory, what can he do with this camo? He sees the threat. Does the threat see him?
Glory needs to kill Formal here. The sniper is the bigger threat. Trippy not the bigger threat here, but Formal doesn't spot him even though he shoots. But Formal hits the no-scope and the body. You gotta regret that decision, and Glory with the camo fails to make the play to remove snipe from the hands of Formal, and Formal will make Quadrant pay.
Getting that killing spree, keeping this tower control. You just saw, like you said, that hesitancy from Glory. Not sure if you commit towards the sniper, get the finish towards cut. Great positioning from the players from OpTic, but like you said, just panic. You know somebody on Quadrant's side was panic calling out Trippy, and he was like, I gotta help that. It sounds like there's direness in this person's voice.
I think I just saw an overkill in the kill feed. I can't quite tell with the camera of the player, but immediately Quadrant come off respawn, break the setup of OpTic, and although Formal hit some great shots, especially taking down the camo player, the game nearly still all tied up, and Quadrant rotating this ball to green should be able to get a play ball situation if they see too much pressure. However, that ball carrier was by himself at green. Nobody back green to play this ball. SLG trying to get his way back there, finds a kill, hits a G slide, finds the ball, and they don't need to play the ball, Dave. All 4 down for OpTic. Quadrant have the slays to pair with it, and they will take the lead here in game 4.
Quadrant playing so much better here as the rounds go on. They are committing to grabbing that ball faster. They're rotating. They're dictating where the ball goes.
Another round of slays in Quadrant's favor. Now starting to gain a significant lead. Camo coming up, and it's in the hands of Snipe Drone. He doesn't choose to activate it right away. Instead, he deals damage to Trippy, wisely backs down, gets it into a secure location before activating it. And now Quadrant with the house set up, camo in hands of Snipe Drone, have an opportunity to blow this round 3 wide open.
Barely misses that third shot before the melee, but that player gets finished off at bags. Lucid, the last one alive, but does not see the rotation opportunity. Yes, he does. Somehow gets the ball all the way towards dummy door and gonna try to buy some desperate time here for the OpTic members to spawn. SLG and Quadrant opt to just go for the slays. So that play was effective there from Lucid. What should have been more time for Quadrant is now a dead ball.
Another individual play of rotation of the Oddball made by OpTic Gaming to make this more frustrating for Quadrant to deal with. They are in the lead, however, up 24 at this point. Glory going to repulse top tower with Snipe. A lot of OpTic members have their focus on him, but nobody's facing him at the moment. He's able to take down Lucid. He's traded out eventually. The ball gets neutralized back to bottom middle, and it's this time around, it's Sika that's going to be the annoying oddball player as he grabs it immediately, and Trippy now trying to play catch-up to try and deny a setup for Quadrant.
Yeah, Trippy wants to be active in the fight, but doesn't want to commit too fast and get caught out in no man's land, just like that with the sniper. So Sniper in the hands of Snipe Drone. No damage with that bullet, but kills just being traded back and forth. Can Formal and crew stay alive here? Sika, the only one alive. Looks like we're going to see an OpTic Gaming setup over in the garage.
OpTic have a full setup, trying to get this game back to a tied situation. 46 kills for Snipe Drone, leading the lobby right now. I don't know when that happened, but Snipe Drone is popping off right now. Snipe Drone's taking the no shield. Formal going to shut him down before he makes it a 47th kill under his name, and Formal extends the setup for OpTic Gaming.
Formal still trying to stay alive over in house. 2 members down for OpTic now. Make that 3. Lucid, you're the last one alive. Can you make a play here on the ball? You're spotted out and likely to be finished up. Lucid and Trippy both down for a moment in time. And when you have the ball, in many cases, you're okay to trade slays like that. If you're trading slays and rotating the ball in the correct direction, you will win that trade in theory.
Look at how annoying Quadrant are being with this oddball. OpTic are getting kills, but every single time this ball is getting picked up by no shield players and moved just a little bit further. Finally, Quadrant go all 4 down for the side of OpTic Gaming. They're able to stop that ball from rotating across the map. They're able to get a setup of their own. And Lucid has picked up the fresh camo, has chosen not to activate it yet, playing a little bit greedy. Now that he's popped it late, the camo will live longer, but no, it's a beautiful grenade one-shot on the top tower that reveals him and takes him down, and all of a sudden what was once a very powerful situation from OpTic is now immediately erased by one grenade.
Yeah, 1v1 for a short bit in time, but Quadrant should have a good amount of information, knowing that dead zone was over at tower and that players were spawning over near nest or green. Now, what did they decide to do with that information?
Oh,
I don't know.
Wow. That 5 from dead zone was something to watch. 56 and starting to climb. This game will be all tied up momentarily. These trades are insane. These shots are even more insane. Dead zone with the second back-to-back 5 will push the series or the lead in game 4 for OpTic Gaming here in round 3.
Yeah, we highlighted in round number 1 when OpTic were going even in slays, they were dominating the objective. However, as soon as Quadrant were able to heavily outslay OpTic, they took over in game 2. What do you do when OpTic are outslaying like Dead Zone right now?
Dead Zone is unbelievable right now. The difference here in round 3 that have given OpTic the opportunity to gain this lead. It's just 17 points. As Dead Zone goes down, so does Trippy. The duo's down. Formal gets taken down. Lucid was momentarily the last player alive. Spotted pillars, knocked down to no shield. The ball being rotated to green so that it is in a position to be played if OpTic apply enough pressure back green. Seek is going to be back here. He's going to throw that ball off the map. He's taken down. 3 members of Quadrant are on respawn. Sniper has got to find a way to deny this ball from rotating towards tower.
Tie game, essentially.
What a melee.
I like that route from Dead Zone. Going to be able to pressure that ball right away if it was grabbed. If not, you can just double team down there.
Sniper not only gets 1 kill, but gets a melee into the second. It gets the damage advantage for Quadrant. They also get the ball in hand. They retake the lead 81 to 80.
Ball going towards back tower. Formal does not want that to go, but knows that it's a trap. He realized someone was not watching immediately from Plat, and it's too good to be true. Your spidey senses start to tingle, and you're like, this can't be right. Where is this person at?
He says it's quiet. Too quiet. Checks his corners, and because of it, he's able to get that kill. That ball gets played. Formal goes back to bottom middle, picks up that Oddball. 10 points is all OpTic need. Where is Quadrant across the map? No one near Formal, and Formal with full shield and 97 points looks to put this ball in an unwinnable situation for Quadrant, and OpTic find a way to close this series out before it goes to a game 5. And that, although wasn't a game 5 for us, that was one of the closest series we've seen between these two. And if there were questions of will this be a rivalry, if Quadrant can play at that level consistently, the answer will be yes.